This is the story of largest bank robbery of all time done by none other than Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. When American-led forces first entered Baghdad in early April 2003, looters had already hit the central bank of Iraq, the fortress-like structure housing much of the nation's treasure, including its foreign currency reserves. Troops found burst pipes and blazing fires, but the looters had been unable to penetrate the bank's main vault or access its deposits. It turned out, however, that someone had already made a hefty withdrawal from the building, to the tune of around $1 billion, easily making this the largest bank heist in history. The loot was taken by a team led by Saddam Hussein, the son of Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. On the eve of American invasion, 3 trucks pulled out of the Central Bank of Iraq at 4 a.m. local time on March 18, 2003. Their cargo was nearly $1 billion, a full quarter of the country's currency reserves. Saddam Hussein arrived at the Central Bank of Iraq in Baghdad with a handwritten note from his father, ordering that $1 billion in U.S. greenbacks be withdrawn and released from the country's coffers. It's safe to say that Saddam didn't quite get away with the heist. The heir apparent to the Ba'athist regime would meet his end a few months later in an ill-advised shootout with the U.S. Army's 101st Airborne Division, and a team of Special Forces operators. Still, a huge chunk of the money was never recovered. Despite the large sum of money, the forced withdrawal may not have actually been illegal, according to some legal experts. Saddam Hussein was an absolute dictator with personal, direct control over every aspect of the country's governance, including the central bank and other economic institutions. The $1 billion might even have been Saddam Hussein's own personal funds, collected over the course of more than 2 decades of ruling Iraq. At first, American intelligence officials believed that Hussein may have been trying to transport the spoils of his time in power over the border to escape the American invasion. A team of U.S. Army Special Forces near Iraq's border with Syria reported seeing trucks matching the description crossing over the border to escape. Others believed that Hussein would use the money to foment resistance inside of Iraq as the American troops advanced throughout the country. Many Iraqis agreed with that assessment. The money may have also been used to fund the flight of those closest to the Iraqi dictator, including his family and personal friends. In the days and weeks that followed, coalition forces managed to find an estimated $650 million of the money taken from the central bank. They found the caches of funds through searches and various patrols around the country that led them to the money, stashed away in one of the palaces used by Uday, Saddam Hussein's other son. When Qusay was finally tracked down to a house in the northern Iraqi city of Mosul, he tried to resist numerous raids on the house from American forces. He and his brother Uday were turned in by one of the other guests of the house who wanted the $30 million reward. American troops began firing 12-tow anti-tank missiles into the house, killing everyone inside. When they were finally able to search the premises, there was no sign of the remaining $350 million from the Iraqi central bank. No one has seen or heard of the money since. But White House and Pentagon decided to keep the money they found and have the newly created Coalition Provisional Authority distribute it to military commanders on the ground to use as they saw fit. Saddam's stash started turning up in places like Yuma, Arizona, where the FBI found 91 deposits made by a Marine assigned to count cash in Fallujah. Army captain, in charge of dispensing money in Anbar province, made close to $700,000 disappear, drawing suspicion when he paid cash for a Hummer and a BMW after returning. All told, around 35 U.S. service members were convicted of such theft between 2004 and 2008. Brand new Hummers for American soldiers may not have been what Saddam had imagined when he sought to keep Iraq's currency reserves out of foreign hands. But most of the Iraqi dictator's pilfered stash undoubtedly remains in circulation. In some ways, Saddam's epic theft continues to this day, from Yuma to Basra, proving yet again that you don't necessarily need a gun to rob a bank or a mask to participate in the plunder. Subscribe and watch more videos. Make sure to hit notification on so you never miss an update.